order. The Penn Trafford School District meeting of April 13th at 7:03. We'll start with pledge allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We take roll call.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. Mrs. Issing.
Here.
Mr. Chass. Here. Dr. Koshko.
Here.
Mr. Leonard. Here. Mr. Newell. Here. Mr. Neiman.
Here.
Mr. Petrucci. Here. Mr. Stovall. Here. Dr. Trey.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Lego. Roll. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the March 9th, 2015 meeting?
Motion. Second. What was it? Motion by Mr. Leonard. Second by Mr. Petrucci.
Question? Being called for. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Information, Dr. Harris.
Thank you. Is Lucas Johnson available tonight? Or a representative? Yes. All right. Oh, I guess it's Sean. Hey, come on up.
Lucas Johnson was unable to attend due to recent surgery. I'm a substitute junior class president, Sean Tobias. The student union had started to plan several fundraisers, but were canceled due to schedule conflicts with upcoming events. We have also began the election process of the 2015-2016 student council year. For prom, the 2014-2015 school year is gradually coming to an end. With an overwhelming amount of teens going shopping for their prom dresses and tuxes, it is a beloved moment of the year by all to attend. The dance is formally scheduled for May 1st, and the Grand March will be held in the gym due to construction as stated as previous meetings. The food committee has been discussing all types of foods for the 2015-2016 school year. Students in the committee are now testing the foods that are to be placed on the preliminary menu. Also, the new restriction lists have allowed the food to be more student and staff friendly, as in the means of popularity. And upon construction of the cafeteria, there's plans of more student appealing food to be placed on the menu. The Warrior Cash Stash is now hiring 2 new employees to represent as student tellers, Lucas Johnson and Kaylee Pockle. 2 of the 3 marked founders of the student branch will be graduating this May from both the high school and the student-run branch. Also, the Stash Cash has plans for future promotions dealing with the prom and the closing of the school year, and information will be disclosed to the students within the month. For sports, I'd like to congratulate several students in their commitment to further their education and athletic careers in college, including 5 students from the soccer team, 3 students from the football team, 5 from the baseball team, 1 student from the volleyball, and 1 student from softball team. And these numbers may not be correctly or completely accurate due to late commits. With CAP, the food drive at the high school was extremely successful, with over 13,000 items were collected and distributed to 3 local food banks, the St. Barbara Food Bank, Trafford Level Green, and the Community United Methodist Church, with over 250 families benefiting from this project. And are there any questions or concerns? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. All right, next we have Students of the Month, and we have Mr. Denali representing 2 schools. Which school do you want to go first?
We're going to go with Trafford.
All right.
Ethan, come on up. Right there in the front, buddy. Okay. Gives me great pleasure to introduce Ethan Geyer, a kindergarten student at Trafford Elementary, as this month's Student of the Month. Ethan is the son of Rob and Pamela Geyer, who are here with us, of Trafford. His dog Sophia and 2 cats, Sunshine and Misty, accompany him at home. Ethan plays baseball for Trafford Level Green Athletic Association. He likes to play every position and is getting better each day. Ethan also takes swim classes at the high school. He told me he has to go a different direction now until they fix the school. When he comes up the front, he has to go around. Not throw him off there once they started building on the other side. Ethan also plays soccer, but is planning on taking a break from that right now. During the summer, Ethan loves to go to the beach with his family members. He's excited to go this year because they're staying in a big house with a huge swimming pool. So, Mom and Dad, we'll see how that goes. Mr. O, Ethan's teacher, who's also here with us, stated, when Ethan first came to my class, he lit up the room. His smile and fun sense of humor are just two fantastic qualities about him. His outward appearance matches his inward kindness. He is always helpful and considerate of others. Ethan always thinks of other kids in the class before himself. He could be the permanent assistant teacher all year because of the way he interacts with his peers and the way he helps Mr. O. Ethan is a doer. As a teacher, if I want or need anything done, he is one of my go-to people. My class is a better place because of him. His big smile and great personality will always be how I remember him. When Ethan gets older, he told me he would like to be a state trooper. He feels that he would be able to protect the people and catch the bad guys. But for right now, he just enjoys being a kid. Ethan Geyer, congratulations on being this month's Student of the Month.
Hi, Ethan. Congratulations. Only a kindergarten, you got Student of the Month already? That's pretty impressive.
Is he the first kindergarten?
I think he's the first. That's
Yeah,
what I was
you're
gonna say. The first kindergarten
person
student.
Student of the Month. Student of the Month. So that's pretty good. I just got one thing to ask you. If you ever get to be a state trooper, would you give me a speeding ticket? So you let me go. You let me go? All right. Congratulations. This is for you.
Good job.
Dan, representing
Okay,
Level
now
Green.
for Level Green Elementary. Zachary, come on up. All right, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Zachary Lovis, a second grade student at Level Green Elementary, as this month's Student of the Month as well. Zachary is the son of Greg and Catherine Lovis, who are here with us, of Level Green, and the older brother of Jonathan, who is in first grade, and Benjamin, who is 2 years old. Zachary says his brothers are his best friends. He enjoys playing video games with Jonathan, and he loves how his brother Benjamin watches and waits for him at the front door as he leaves and returns from school. Most importantly, Zachary enjoys spending time with his family. Mr. Baumgartner, his second grade teacher, is here. He states that Zachary was nominated for Student of the Month because of his exceptional attitude, leadership, and grit. John Wooden once said, "Things turn out best for people who make the best of the things turn out." Let me state that again. Things turn out best for the people who make the best of the way things turn out. You understand that somehow. Zach's positive attitude lets him make the best of any situation in school. His energetic and positive attitude is contagious, inspiring other students to do better and act better. He is always encouraging to his classmates, the first to lend a kind word or a helping hand. He shows true grit and sticks to a problem like peanut butter until he gets it done right. His excellent grades reflect his hard work, but his positive attitude is what shines through. Zachary, you have a bright future, and we are happy to have you as part of the Level Green family. Continue to be a classmate, the son, and the brother that you are. We congratulate you on being this month's Elementary Student of the Month.
Congratulations, Zach. So you like peanut butter? Is that why you use that? We'll see you back here again when you're in middle school. How's that sound? All right, thank you.
Next, we have representing Trafford Middle, Mr. Roger Sullivan.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. I'd like to recognize Gavin Berardi. Gavin Berardi is a 7th grader at Trafford Middle School. He's joined by his mother and father and his sister, Savannah. Before I go any further, though, I'd like Savannah to stand up. You recognize her. She is one class act, too. And let me tell you, Gavin maybe just edged her out slightly for this award. She's a superb kid, a great student. I just had to recognize her, too. It's a pleasure to recognize Gavin tonight. He's a strong student, has super grades, and is a student that works very hard. One day, Gavin's goal is to be a mechanical engineer. Gavin is a wonderful young man, as you can see, always smiling, and a positive person in all aspects of life. It is important for you to know that Gavin has type 1 diabetes. And despite this obstacle, Gavin is positive, focused, and driven in all that he does. He has accepted what makes him who he is and is highly motivated and is a role model for all of us, young and old. Gavin is involved in a variety of extracurricular activities, such as the 7th grade basketball team. He plays baseball for his AAU Pittsburgh Diamond Dogs, where he plays catcher and third base. He participated in Trafford Middle School's choir this year, participates in the annual 5K race for the Cure on Mother's Day, and a junior ambassador for Western Pennsylvania's Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. I also interviewed his sister, Savannah, and she said that she was very proud of Gavin because he's a well-rounded person, as you can see, and takes his schoolwork very seriously. She noted that he handles his diabetes courageously. I asked why he's always smiling, and she said because he has a great attitude about everything. Gavin's teachers say this: he works very hard and puts forth his best effort all the time. He's kind, respectful, helpful to adults and peers. He asks the necessary question, advocates for himself. He's responsible and has an air of maturity above the average 7th grader. Another teacher says Gavin might be the most polite kid in the building, which isn't surprising, as his sister is the same way. He falls into the category of, I wish I had 30 of him in my class. I don't think there's a day that goes by that has gone by where he hasn't said good morning. In my class in particular, not only is his effort tremendous, but he is the first to make sure that everyone is being included in whatever the activity is. Another teacher said, Gavin is a hardworking student. He goes above and beyond what is required in class. Gavin will assist other students who struggle in certain subjects. He also is extremely friendly towards other students and welcomes new faces. Gavin, congratulations, and thank you for making Trafford Middle School special.
Congratulations, Gavin.
Thank you.
Sounds like you're a very busy person.
Yeah.
You do a lot of athletics and all that, plus with the diabetes, you're part of, you help them out there?
Yep.
That's very impressive. I mean, your parents, I'm sure, are very proud of you, but I don't think it's fair that Mr. Sullivan kept bringing up your sister on your special. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Finally, we have Mr. Gary Kevin Jones. I think I got it right this time. From the high school.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. I'd like to recognize Alex Brizuela. Alex, come on up. It is a great pleasure to introduce Alex Brizuela. He's accompanied by his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Brizuela, his teacher, Mrs. Enoch, and both job coaches, Mrs. Rush and Mrs. Lochner. Alex is a 10th grade student at Penn Trafford High School. He has made many accomplishments in the short time he has been here at the high school. He has had accomplishments in both social and work settings. He began in the work setting at the coffee shop called Coffee for a Cause at the Penn Trafford High School Library his freshman year. Alex quickly learned skills in the areas of customer service, janitorial duties, and inventory. Alex was able to learn how to interact with customers appropriately and stay focused on his work. He has done a great job with customer service when working at the coffee shop, and he often greets all the students, and he remembers them also by name. Since last school year, Alex has become even more social and often starts conversations with students and teachers in the hallways. This year, starting in January 2015, he started working at RCW, which is a community work placement. Since then, he has worked both at RCW and the coffee shop. He has done well with handling classes and 2 work placements. He has shown maturity and the willingness to be able to work through these challenges when they arise. His supervisor from RCW states, Alex has shown positives in the areas of consistent attendance and comprehending job instructions. He is respectful to the supervisors and gets along well with his peers. His work quality is acceptable, and he does a great job when he is shown what to do. He's able to do a variety of different tasks. In fact, he welcomes a challenge. Alex will continue to work at RCW and the coffee shop, but in the near future, he will be eligible to work in the community. As stated earlier, he is in his 2nd year working in the coffee shop. In the time, he has mastered making all the different types of coffees, making the cookies, along with running the register and waiting on customers. He voluntarily cleans up all the areas in the coffee shop and ensures all supplies are filled. He regularly engages his customers in conversation and makes them feel welcome. Alex is one of the brightest shining stars in the coffee shop. Alex, congratulations for being Penn Trafford High School Student of the Month.
Congratulations, Alex.
Thank you.
Have you got to see the new coffee shop yet? What they're doing with it?
Oh, no, I haven't.
You're going to get to work in the next year, I hope. It should be open.
Yeah, I really can't wait until I work there.
That's going to be a nice place. They made it a lot bigger and be a lot better for people. Congratulations, Alex. We're proud to have you here. Thank you.
Quick press photo. If I can have all the students come up to the front and bring your certificates, please. Penn Trafford Silver on behalf of the career CWCTC for the outstanding chapter. So it was great to Neo won. Some other districts have 1 or 2 people as well too. They did a good job with that. But as far as I am, that's all I have to report.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. Now is normally a minute for recognition of visitors, but we have no one signed up to speak tonight, so we will move on. May I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report and high school extracurricular fund report?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Hissing, second by Mr. Leonard.
Alice, Bob Mosdell.
Question?
Question, sorry.
Question being called for. This will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried. May I have a motion to approve the list of bills for the month of April?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Kachasik, second by Mr. Newell.
Question being called for. This will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried. Any old business tonight?
None this evening, Mr. President.
Okay, tonight, prior to tonight's meeting, we held an executive session at which we talked about personnel matters, legal matters, and received information. New business, athletics and extracurricular. Dr. Koshko.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do have a few things. Move to accept the following resignations. Robert Brown, varsity boys assistant soccer coach, effective March 23rd, 2015. Katie Datz, newspaper sponsor at Penn Middle School, effective the end of 2014-15 school year. Jackie Hamill, Drama Guild sponsor fall and Drama Guild sponsor spring. Barb Coons, NHS sponsor at the high school due to retirement. Jason McAllister, volunteer track coach, effective immediately. Jeff Neese, boys head soccer coach. Brandy Supernovich, new crew video production sponsor at Penn Middle.
Second. Second by Mr. Newell.
Question.
Question being called for. All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried.
Move to approve the opening of 2 varsity boys assistant soccer coach positions in the 7th and 8th grade head and assistant soccer coach position due to the resignation of Mr. Jeff Neese as boys head soccer coach. This is according to district policy.
Second.
Second by
Question.
Mrs. Hissing.
Question being called for. This will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried.
Move to approve the following volunteer coaches. All coaches, volunteers must have Act 34, 151, and 114 waivers on file with the athletic director. Johnny Barnes, volunteer track coach. Mike Cleland, volunteer 7th and 8th grade girls softball coach. John Forsythe, volunteer 7th and 8th grade girls softball coach. And Mary Beth Smida, volunteer cheerleading coach.
Second.
Second by Mr.
Question.
Leonard.
Question being called for. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried.
That will be all, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Koshko. Budget and Finance, Mr. Kachasik.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to approve the following expenditures for the high school renovation project according to the schedule as listed.
Second. Question.
Second by Dr. Trey, second by
Question.
question by
Question being called for. This will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried.
Move to award the following bid in accordance with the joint purchasing agreement with the Westmoreland Intermediate Unit Number 7 Joint Purchasing Consortium for the 2015-16 school year to the company with the lowest bid where specifications were met. A copy of the individual award will be filed in the district business office as listed.
Second.
second by Mr. Newell. Question.
Question being called for. This will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried.
Move to approve the WIU number 7 general operating budget for the Westmoreland Intermediate Unit number 7 for the fiscal year July 1st, 2015 to June 30th, 2016. The total amount of $4,794,290. The Penn Trafford School District's contribution will be $41,341.04.
Second.
Second by Mr. Leonard.
Question being called for. This will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried.
Scott, before I read the next one, we were briefed on this last week at the informational meeting, correct?
Yes.
Move to approve the following change order request submitted by Macera Construction as listed. Second.
Second by Mr. Newell.
Question.
Question being called for. This will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried.
Now, that is all I have this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Kachasik. Buildings and ground safety, Mr. Leonard.
I have nothing for this evening, and thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard. Employee relations, negotiations, transportation, Mrs. Ising.
Nothing to report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mrs. Ising. Food service, Dr. Trey.
Nothing to add to our student union representative's excellent report.
Thank you, Dr. Trey. Personnel and curriculum, Mr. Petrucci.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to approve the additional substitute teacher support personnel for the month of April 2015.
Second.
Second by Mr. Kachasik.
Question.
Question being called for. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried.
Move to authorize administration to request 3 8-hour days and 1 2-hour day or dismissal day for the Department of Education under Act 80 for the 2015-16 school year. The release time will be used for teachers in service, parent conferences, curriculum development, and long-range plan activities.
Second.
Second by Mr. Leonard.
Question.
Question being called for. This will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried.
Move to revise 2014-15 school calendar due to the snow date of Thursday, March 5th, 2015 as follows. A copy of the revised calendar will become an official part of the minutes of the meeting. Under A, makeup day Thursday, March 5th, 2015 will be Tuesday, May 26th, 2015, which will be an Act 80 day students do not attend. And B, in service previously scheduled for Tuesday, May 26th, we move to Thursday, May 28th, 2015.
Second.
Second by Mr. Newell.
Question.
Question being called for. This will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion
Move to
carried.
accept the following resignations. Ashley DeRado, Amanda Erickson, Jennifer Capaco, Megan Leonard, Nicole Lochner, Nicole Nelabanco, Elizabeth Strand.
Second.
Second by Mr. Kachasik.
Question.
Question being called for. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried.
Move to employ the following personnel. New employment is contingent upon the receipt of all necessary documentation as set for Act 34, 151, 114 waivers from Commonwealth of Pennsylvania within 30 days. Ashley DeRado, student learning assistant, effective March 23rd, 2015, has salary $28,000 prorated. Margaret Hines, paraprofessional, from 3.5 non-union position to union position at Penn Middle School effective March 26, 2015 at $9.75 per hour. Nicole Nelabanco, math tutor at Penn Middle School effective March 19, 2015 at substitute daily rate. And Shannon Roney, super sub at Trafford Middle School effective March 19, 2015 at the substitute daily rate. Elizabeth Strand, math tutor at Trafford Middle School effective March 19, 2015 at the substitute daily rate.
Second.
Second by Mr. Kachasik.
Question.
Question being called for. This will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried.
Move to approve the following conference request for Glenn Cooper to attend the Gatorade Employee Panel Discussion in Chicago, April 20, 2015, at no cost to the district.
Second. Second by Mr. Costa.
Question.
Question being called for. This will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried.
Move to approve the following leave requests: Donna Graham, Carrie Gutwald, Deborah Hyduk, Jackie Landrum, Patricia Mintz, Jackie Stagno, and Brandy Supernovich.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Zissou.
Question.
Question being called for. This will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried.
Move to approve the settlement agreement and release for student number SAR 201-415-001 as presented to the board and authorize administration to take up all steps in accordance therewith.
Second.
Second by Mr. Newell.
Question.
Question being called for. This will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Petrucci. Policy, Public Relations, Legislative, Title II. Mr. Newell, please.
Thank you, Mr. Neiman, Mr. President. Do have a couple items. First, move to accept and file the minutes of the Superintendent's Information Committee meeting held on Monday, March 2nd, 2015.
Second.
Second by Mr. Leonard.
Question being called for. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried.
Move to approve the intergovernmental cooperation agreement and memorandum of understanding between the Westmoreland County Land Bank and the Penn Trafford School District as presented to the board.
Second.
Second by Mr. Petrucci.
Question.
Mr. Leonard, would you care to expand on that?
Yeah, this agreement, myself being a public official that deals with blighted and deteriorated buildings, we struggle constantly with methodology to get them from the blighted condition into the condition where they be back in productive use, taxable entities. And Trafford, I'm sure, struggles with the same issue with their blighted buildings. Those buildings will sit quite frequently and collect no taxes and be constant work for the code enforcement and the police departments. This intercooperative agreement allows another opportunity for another agency that can move through that bureaucratic process much more rapidly and help move those properties and buildings into a productive part of the community. So I think this is a very, very good thing for us as a school board to cooperate with.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard. Question being called for. This will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried.
That's all I have this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Newell. Taxes, insurance, and census, Mr. Stovar.
One item today, Mr. President. Move to appoint Berkheimer Tax Associates as per capita and delinquent tax collector from May 1st, 2015 through December 31st, 2017.
Second.
Second by Mr. Petrucci.
Question.
Question being called for. This will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried.
That's all I have tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Stovar. Solicitors report, Mr. Brungo.
Nothing to report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Brungo. PTEA representative, Mr. Rainier.
Nothing for me, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Rainier. Have a motion for adjournment.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Kachasik.
Being adjourned 7:36.